number one here in this best of three between Tempo Storm to the left-hand side here with Athlon going to be playing Sylvanas, Dreadnought on Malfurion, KO is going to be on Valor, Soldier will be on Tyrael, and finally Zuna is going to be playing Sonya. Then to the right-hand side we have Team Braveheart with Bao going to be playing on Jaina, Exia will be on Kael'thas, Gemini will be on Kharazim, Kalia will be on Arthas, and finally M is going to be running the Muradin.
Now we've got the immediate split here from Team Tempo Storm doing the 1-1-3 that they're both known for, which they love, pairing two of their ranged pushers and damage dealers together with a support and trying to put pressure early on, and of course, which better hero than Sylvanas. Note what they're doing here, by the way. They're slowing down the minion wave. It is a small effect, but it's ever so noticeable. This will cause the minion waves to clash slightly closer to Tempo Storm's side, which makes them both more safe and the opponent potentially more overextended.
And an interesting lane to do it in overall. Actually, the bottom lane of all lanes instead of the middle one where you would normally see that kind of fighting. So they're really trying to stall out the bottom lane. But then in essence, eventually, this will give them a good position here for Sylvanas to try and start pushing this lane very aggressively. Now, Grubby, looking at the level 1 talent here of Sonya, we've been seeing this a bit more healing and sustainability here for them.
Oh, hold that thought. Howling Blast and Grounded Edge with the Stormbolt. First blood goes to Team Braveheart.
That shot caught me off guard. That was very quick, especially against the Sylvanas with Haunting Wave that does have the ability to escape.
Tyrael in the mid lane using Eldruin's Might to pop away. Soldier there playing it safe. But to get back to your question, Warpaint, it is part of an auto attack build. She will pick up focus attack and follow through probably at level 4 and 7 respectively with a potential sidestep to Ferocious Healing.
Yes.
And the really cool thing about it, she becomes very survivable. She can keep herself up with the help of Tyrael's shields and Malfurion's healing as well. The alternative choice is often Shots of Fury, which is a little bit more aggressive and a little bit less survivable. So you can see very clearly that Tempo Storm wants to play a long, sustained fight.
Yep, and that's what you're going to have to do here on a map like Infernal Shrines, especially if you do fall behind a little bit earlier on. They have given up first blood to their opponents here in Braveheart, and Braveheart here has to gain a little bit of a mental edge, a bit of mental momentum against Tempo Storm. They're going up against a team that is very fearsome, whereas they don't quite have the wealth of experience together as they would do normally. So getting that first blood here for Braveheart, I think, is a great little step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's very important for them, and it must feel really good here in their opening match of the BlizzCon proper. Muradin here taking a lot of damage here from the Tempo Storms.
Oh, and already folks down on towards Sonya. Zuna's going to end up going down. That's another kill going over to Braveheart here, despite that being the Tempo Storm engage. And this is going to open up the shrine a little bit for Braveheart, but still there is the potential that we could see them actually moving up here and trying to struggle soft some of these minions.
Now, I think this is not a reason for concern for Tempo Storm, but they do need to be a little bit careful. I think they don't have a stronger level 1 to 9 composition here. That one probably goes to Braveheart. So if they can manage to stabilize a little bit and not throw too many eggs in their early game basket, so to speak, Tempo Storm would be just fine. I think their power spike is at level 10 when they get Sanctification, Wrath of the Berserker. As of right now, Zuna on the Sonya needs to be very careful because he's not as powerful yet. Full crowd control effects take into effect, and there we go with the Gravity Lapse.
Another push on towards Sonya there, but at the same time, Muradin's going to pay for it with his life. He ends up falling. That is going to be the first kill going over to Tempo Storm. As we have Kadia going to be moving through here with Arthas, taking a lot of damage himself, though. The Roots will be able to lock him down for a moment. Likewise, Jaina very much under threat. Arthas is going to go for a great ancient spear. Jaina follows up on another death here going over to Tempo Storm, and that turns around the shrine for them, and it's a Frozen Punisher. So this is going to be a great pushing tool here for them in the top lane.
Tempo Storm really redeemed themselves there, even in the early game. Zuna there with the Composite Spear, taking the last hit on Arthas and getting actually the advantage here in takedowns. 3 versus 2. Experience lead goes to Tempo Storm, and the Frozen Punisher jumps into the fort on Exia.
Another still good bait there out of them to just get it away from the team so that they can try and bring it down away from the power of Tempo Storm as a whole. That's the one advantage you have as the defender going up against this. The Punisher will prioritize jumping on towards heroes as opposed to other kind of pushing mechanics in the game that do potentially, you know, prioritize the building damage.
Yeah, he's not very emotionally stable, is he, the Immortal?
No.
At the first poke, he jumps in. Arthalon!
Oh, he ends up falling as well. Another kill onto Sylvanas. A little bit uncharacteristic characteristic of the character as a whole, because again, Haunting Wave is a great escape mechanic, but Braveheart is syncing up their stuns really well to counteract that kind of play.
Yeah, and also you've got to have a very good map awareness here. You keep having to look at the minimap. Where is everyone? If you don't see them, they could be coming for you. You don't want to take that paranoia too far, but if you're by yourself pushing the lane, that is very risky, potentially.
We're seeing Sonya going for that kind of more sustained build that you were mentioning, those two options and two paths that she does have. And on the other side, if we look at Tyrael's talents as well, a relatively tanky Tyrael build with Regeneration Master as well as Amplified Healing, and obviously having that battle momentum in there just to give extra shields during the fight and just be a little bit of a nuisance at the front. Soldier on Tyrael is a very formidable opponent.
Wow, we've got Team Tempo Storm here pushing as 5.
Oh.
Now we've got Braveheart closing in on them. KO dodging the Howling Blast.
It was a nice attempt at the flank there, and if they'd have got someone with the Howling Blast, that could have really spiraled out of control, but Tempo Storm knew when to disengage.
We've got a big camp pushing at the top here. It looks like Team Braveheart is going to be making use of that. Tyrael has to be careful. Soldier there almost running into Jaina and Arthas, a very lethal combination. But they play it really safely and are going to go defend the camp here. Still summoning Fallen Hounds there.
Yep.
But they will be taking care of it now. Nicely dealt with by Tempo Storm.
Get rid of that Shaman, that's for sure. Nobody likes the Shaman in that group. He's a nuisance. But the Shrine now opening means that both of these are going to have to wrestle against one another. The slight experience lead that Braveheart has right now will give them a few of the extra minions at the start, if there was a potential of them trying to wrestle against it and slow it down towards a level 10. And as you can see, the teams are dispersed across the lanes here. They know that level 10 is so important despite that Shrine being activated.
Yeah, even a 5-second advantage for the opponent having level 10 could be lethal here. So very smart decision by Tempo Storm here to push the towers. They actually get level 10 first, and that's their mark to converge on the middle and say the rest of the skeletons are ours.
You've got to be careful here now, Braveheart. Very, very careful. You don't have level 10 just now.
Level 10 apiece.
They do have a little bit of damage done towards them so far. Athlon going in pretty thick towards things. Zuna on the right-hand side, trying to zone out some of their members, gathering up some of these minions. They were a little bit behind, as you can see to the bottom right-hand corner. 30-40 against 15-40. They need to gain some of these kills. But look at Braveheart doing this very, very cleverly. They know they only need a few. They're just playing it slowly on the edge.
Yeah, we've got 15 needed for Tempo Storm. Only 7 for Braveheart.
Oh, Wailing Arrow actually went through there. Straight onto Jaina. She's going to take a lot of damage here. Oh, the Braveheart is able to hit with that sanctification as well, soaking up a lot of damage there for Tempo Storm. And then Kayla turning around there on towards Tyrael. Big AoE damage being done. Arthas ends up falling as well. But overall, that Divine Palm did a lot of work, and they're going to be able to disengage. Tempo Storm is going to come out victorious here as long as they're able to get a few more kills. They need just one more minion.
Braveheart got it.
Oh my god.
What? They needed 1 skeleton against 3. It was Kael'thas solo. Exia stealing the cheese off the bread off Tempo Storm. Incredible.
Unbelievable stuff. Really, really good play here by Braveheart to salvage that situation, knowing they only needed 1. Now you can see Soldier was trying to bait the Punisher across the wall. Didn't get the opportunity there, though. It will jump forward. The Arcane Punisher, though, does a lot of damage with its beams. You've got to be careful.
Oh, Dreadnought got by himself. Very smart rotation by Braveheart, and they will get a kill for their efforts.
Very, very well done to just find these here and there. But overall, that was a crazy, crazy fight in the mid to just get it by 1 at the very end. And in essence, they kind of had to get it. Tempo Storm did have a better position after those 2 kills that they got on towards Arthas, etc. later on in that fight. So that was crucial by Braveheart to salvage the situation.
Yeah, very nice Divine Palm there by Gemini on Jaina, managing to save her and turn that around just into a 1 warrior down apiece. And now, in one of the most close games so far in BlizzCon opening week and today in general, we've got a 12 versus 12 situation.
And Zuna actually jumping on towards the end. It's going to blow up once again. A brilliant pick up there by Tempo Storm, looking for more. The haunting way forwards. Sylvanas feels confident, and he will bring down Muradin here. Going down. That's a 2-for-0 trade here for Tempo Storm.
Fantastic takedown. Arthalon hungry for blood in hot pursuit with his buddies, and now, thanks to the Black Arrow of Sylvanas, able to freely push the top without taking any damage whatsoever. And very smart move by Braveheart, actually. Even though they have a hero down, 2 heroes down, they still continue to push. They know the enemy's forces are concentrated at the top, and they can actually trade evenly here. So they're going to get a fort at the bottom as well.
Not too bad, not too bad. This Khazra camp still pushing through the middle, so causing a few problems. Kharazim doesn't have the opportunity to really clean those up very fast, so needs a little bit of extra support to help him out actually cleaning that up. But this is a great steal here by Tempo Storm, being able to switch the momentum over, not only taking that fort up towards the top, but also taking their opponent's hard camp, which is also a nuisance on this map.
Yes, exactly. Taking that Fallen Shaman provides so much pressure on the opponent because it will keep summoning doggies and it will keep pushing, and it's very difficult to die to normal lane presence. So
lines up even better as well with the fact that the Shrine has come activated. Jaina has been away from this fight for a while. They've got themselves 20 out of 40 minions towards this Mortar Punisher. So overall, right now, Tempo Storm has really found their flow in this game. It's
they guessed it. They guessed it. KO almost gets taken down. Verdant in hot pursuit.
Okay, still looking to try and get out of there. Will going down. Stentification's already been used as well. The turnaround here from Tempo Storm, despite Vladimir going down, they had dedicated a lot of power towards that one kill, and the turnaround there on towards Arthas was strong.
And that all but secures the Immortal here for Team Tempo Storm. Very nice flank. They got the Immortal.
Very good stuff here by Tempo Storm. Still, look at the experience. 14 against 14, dead even. 7 kills against 6. This Mortar Punisher here can do big work, can soften up these buildings, probably bring down this entire fort and march on a little bit further. So structurally, Tempo Storm is doing well.
And now we can see why Tempo Storm loves Sylvana so much. 0 damage on this Mortar Punisher, even though there was a free fort kill no matter what, but it would have taken more damage already. Now they can continue to ride onto the next keep, taking down those 2 towers, 650 XP both. They're going to get really close to level 16.
Being across the wall here at the moment, that's a good move here by Braveheart, but at the same time, you're seeing Tempo Storm trying to rip down that wall, getting towards that Punisher and looking for the fight here. They know that they have an actual natural advantage with fighting under this Punisher, and also it's not taking damage from the fort. It's still locked down here. You can see this keep even, I should say, being locked down and taking those little bits of extra damage.
Okay, we've got a trap potential here for Team Tempo Storm as we might see Braveheart here scurrying to get back onto the map. Very close to level 16, and that would be a great moment to fight for Tempo Storm. So are they going to set a trap, or are they going to say, we're going to ride this advantage we have into the middle game more safely?
I would love to see them try and take a fight right now. They've got themselves holy ground on Tyrael, something that is extremely powerful. Hardened focus. The difference between having hardened focus and not is night and day, as long as Malfurion is keeping himself in the back lines, being able to churn out those heals at such rapid speed.
Sonya going with Stone Skin here. We've got Vala with the Blood for Blood, not going for the sometimes taken Stone Skin. Feels very safe here, wants to go full aggression. Look for Arthelon to do more flanks there on the Vala, but it was a very nice anticipation for Braveheart last fight.
And of all members of Tempo Storm, Zuna playing the Sonya here, he epitomizes aggression. He is one of the most aggressive tools that Tempo Storm has available. So with Mystical Spear as well, he could get in a really good spot. This is an interesting flank coming out here though by Braveheart, and they're already looking to focus on towards Sonya. Arthelon was forced back on that Sancta has been able to turn things around. This could be the opportunity to get back. Gets completely blown up. He goes down. That is a 1-for-0 already here for Tempo Storm, and the sustain is very strong here for them as well, as Malfurion still in with so much health is being able to pump out that healing so much.
Kael'thas too far forward there and was unable to get Divine Palm there by Gemini on time. They're trying to do some damage against Soldier here, but they just don't have the damage without Kael'thas.
No, I don't think so either. They could still look for more if they wanted, but it looks like Tempo Storm is now going to back off a little bit more, knowing that that Shrine has been activated up towards the top, steal this easy camp, then rotate around here. Still the flow for Tempo Storm is hitting the mark perfectly.
Yeah, they are just playing in almost perfect synergy. After struggling a little bit in the early game, they've taken full control of the map, and that's when they shine the best. That's when any team shines the best, of course, but especially Tempo Storm relies very heavily on a good momentum, and they're really hitting their stride here in their first game today.
Tempo Storm, very much so the fan favorite out there. A lot of people behind Tempo Storm, 84% in favor of Tempo Storm in this series. A lot of people want to see them survive on and go through to the semi-finals. It's not over yet by any means, though, in this series, as Braveheart at the moment positioning themselves and posturing themselves, knowing that they need to do it. But Wrath of the Berserker has been activated, and with the amount of fighting that goes on around these shrines, it's going to be there for a long time.
Look for Bao here on the Jaina, coming from behind. There she goes. No, hasn't revealed herself yet. It's a 4 versus 5. Where's your Jaina? The Tempo Storm must be wondering.
Exactly. KO is going to be one of the big targets there for him, but at the same time, obviously, still quite mobile himself. There goes the Water Elemental. KO is going to be trying to push down there. There goes the strafe. The extra damage going to be coming out. Holy Ground used to deny Braveheart from actually pushing forwards. Likewise, we've already seen a Wailing Arrow being used. Dread is under a little bit of threat there from the bombs coming out, but at the same time, M here on the Muradin is fighting up against Sonya. Sonya's got to be careful, though, whilst going for that. There's no extra damage coming out from Braveheart on the back, though, so a very slow fight in the end.
Yeah, if we look at Braveheart, they still have Divine Palm, and Tyrael still has Sanctification. We've got Wrath of the Berserker up again for Zuna, so a lot of heroics being used. No one going down yet. Muradin, very low on the mana.
Soldier going in quite far there. There's KO, though. He went very far, but at the same time, Abader now in position. Divine Palm is not going to pop. They're not going to let it. Oh, and he catches it at the very end of that Divine Palm's duration. Perfect execution there by Tempo Storm.
Wow, wonderfully done. Really hitting the mark there against that focus target. Excellent movement here by KO as well. Time upon time again, showing himself on Vala at the front line and then getting out as the opponent overextends. We saw a beautiful move by Braveheart, disengaging from that fight as Tranquility was popped. But they managed to get back in there, and they thought, yes, we have a chance to take this. But Tempo Storm took down Arthas in a beautiful synergy. And look at this. They're deliberately buying time for the Punisher not to be summoned yet, because they want to capture the bottom camp first. Once you capture the Punisher, all camps on the map disappear. So they wanted to get this one to provide a counterpoint pressure at the bottom of the map. They've got one on the middle, one on the bottom, and the Immortal is going to be at the top. But they're not capturing it yet. Are they trying to sucker Braveheart into another fight there?
Perhaps. I mean, they do have the level advantage at the moment that will give them statistical advantage. And also, I think that they probably feel their team fight in general right now is quite strong. They've kind of felt Braveheart out during the entirety of this. So they don't need to really capture it just yet. They only need one more minion, and we saw how, well, relatively easy that was earlier on from Braveheart. They're just going to now walk in, baiting them into the position, and they're going to focus on Muradin here quite strongly. Zuni using Mystical Spirit to get out. We're already seeing Alphas trying to put a pressure towards Vala. Very precarious position here. Walks Sanctification, very important to keep alive. Ah, there's the palm again, but they're not going to pop it. Oh, yeah, Vala during all of that, they're going to trade it off for Arthas, and also Karazim ends up going down as well here. Zuna still at the front. That's big AoE damage from Chaos. That's explosive damage coming out there, and that is going to mean Braveheart gets the better end of a fight, but the Arcane Punisher is pushing.
It's a 2 versus 3. Arthalon is in hot pursuit, 1 versus 3, because he wants to buy time. He wants to prevent the opponent from being able to defend against this, but he has played with his life.
And that is going to be another kill going over to Braveheart. Good stuff, 4-2 in the end, but still, these lanes are pushing. Even towards the middle, you can see Tyrael there getting himself a fort with the camp, making the best of the situation, considering his entire team is dead.
Yeah. This was very advanced tactics by Tempo Storm. They wanted to put an attractive lure out, saying to Braveheart, you can still get this Punisher. We're going to give it to you. And then try to get a good position, but I don't think it worked out exactly for them.
Slight backfiring. But
I mean, they got the bottom keep with the camp that was pushing. They got a fort, but now we've suddenly got level 20 versus 20.
Yeah. As a whole, slight backfiring in the trade-off of the fight, but as if you look at the entire state of the map,
they're winning the map.
Yes, I think it overall, it worked. I mean, they got the structural damage that they wanted to, and now they're still level 20. Well, now against level 20 coming in here, but I still think Tempo Storm does have confidence in their team fights.
Oh, sure, it has been going very well, even when they're on even talent tiers, and they're also winning the map. But we have to put a little side note here. Team Braveheart is level 20 versus 20. Death timers, 65 seconds. A successful team fight for Braveheart could spell the end for Tempo Storm, even as they are having such a big advantage.
And this is interesting.
Which is why they're not fighting.
Let's just chill, guys. Let's just chill.
Oh!
Are you over there? No?
There's nobody there. I thought I heard something.
Yeah, someone knocked on the door. Anyway. Oh well, Braveheart's going to disperse whilst Tempo Storm here now moving through the middle, and they still have strong map control. You can see already, having themselves the fort wall alone is very powerful here for Tempo Storm once the shrines come up. At the moment, Braveheart doesn't really have much map control, and Tempo Storm's going to delay this out for when the shrine pops here, or even sync it up with this one. with the Shrine coming up to the bottom, it's not as powerful, but it still does hold weight.
Yeah, you would wish that it would potentially be the top or the middle
Yes.
at least. It's going to be in the worst place, but still, they've got 2 camps pushing during this. Very nice strategical play once again by Team Temperstorm, holding ground there, sectioning off the Arthas.
And at the same time here, Soldier still putting on some pressure towards him. Zuna up to the top with a lot of pressure on him as he moves away for just a moment. Not big trades going down just there. Both teams respecting one another enough, but at the same time, this only ever benefits Tempostorm because mid lane and bottom lane was pushing with those easy camps.
Yes, very true. They are still winning the map. Temperstorm is proving to be such a strategical mastermind. One more point here is that we've got 4 heroics up for Temperstorm, whereas Phoenix, Water Elemental, Army of the Dead, and Iron Skin on Arthurs have all gone down.
Here comes the flank, looking for some extra burst damage there. That was almost a really good kill there. You could see the range on it. Very calculated there by Braveheart. A great attempt, but it wasn't successful in the end, as Muradin's going to end up dwarf tossing away, getting himself out of the theatre of conflict. Still 15 kills and 21 kills actually coming down. Still looking on towards Arthalon, but he's not going to fall.
Arthurs doesn't have Hardened Shield anymore. He's taking a lot of damage.
Big damage coming out from Kael'thas. Lots of chain bombs going down. Sanctification is going to be positive. They're going to look for it. Divine Palm triggers on towards Arthas there, but he's still in the thick of things. He's probably going to fall, and yes, he will. That's going to be a kill here for Tempostorm, looking for more as they power on here towards Muradin, who is quite low, but he's still healing up quite considerably.
Yeah, using that trait there, using the Stone Skin to heal up to 50% extra again. Pops out of Avatar, looks to be full life actually.
And that's all they needed, though, to Tempostorm. They've got themselves 37 minions. They've been delaying this out a lot. It was a 1-for-0 trade. Looking to blow up towards Arthalon. Oh, my God, the child! They ends up going down, but they still get themselves the Mortar Punisher, and that will push for them, despite that 1-for-1 trade overall.
During all of this, we've had the camps pushing the bottom lane, pushing the mid lane, and now the Immortal Punisher has been summoned as well for Team Temperstorm.
Brilliant delay tactic there, by the way, down towards the bottom here for Braveheart. Just the dart on in to try and bait out the jump from the Punisher to slow his progression. You have to slow his progression here in the bottom lane, especially when you've got no keep.
Yeah, you want to abuse that AI as much as possible, and particularly when it is okay, under controlled circumstances, not when the opponent is making an aggressive foray into your territory.
No, not at all, as Tempostorm here looking to make an encouragement on towards here, and with Braveheart's forts and keeps, and this Mortar Punisher still going hell for leather on towards some of these buildings, whilst we see Tempostorm taking away camp after camp, going over to the easy. Won't be surprised if they try to rotate around to the hard, despite having only one of their members missing. It's going to be a little bit ambitious, and that was interesting.
All right, 10 seconds until this camp is spawning here, the siege camp. They're going to go to the top. 10 seconds on this one as well. Bruiser camp with the Fallen Shaman and the dogs. We've got on the right side Team Braveheart capturing their own camp. Just finding something to do, busyness therapy, as they get this one. 2 keep still against 5 forts, Kalaris.
Yeah, these hard camps will equalize themselves out towards the top with those little doggies being resurrected over and over unless someone cleans them up. Now Braveheart setting themselves up, knowing that there was the potential that they could have been moving towards that location.
Yeah, what if it was like 1 or 2 guys that said,
Yes.
I'll take the scenic route, would be the last decision he would make for 65 seconds.
Exactly, after having that hard camp be the flag to tell them where they were after being captured. And now they're a little bit worried as to where they are. They haven't seen Tempostorm for a while of Braveheart, whereas Tempostorm knows exactly where Braveheart are thanks to the minion vision.
All right, now we have Braveheart also knowing where Temperstorm is. They just captured that camp. We've got 2 camps pushing for Temperstorm, 1 for Braveheart. That's where Temperstorm might be going here. Gonna go defend the top fort. Is giving them the buffer just in case there's a top Punisher being summoned by Braveheart to not go immediately for the key.
Overall, slowing down of the pace here by Tempostorm. They could have continued on the aggression if they wanted, but they're really respecting the power that Jaina Kael'thas has in these later stages of the game. You can see how much damage Kael'thas is able to pump out with that chain bomb, etc.
Oh, a trap.
Ooh,
Temperstorm is setting up a trap. They're not going to be where they are expected to be. Oh, Arthalon was spotted, I think.
Muradin going quite far forward there. That's a lot of damage
Hardened
going
shield
down.
down.
There's the route as well, but it's not going to be enough at all. That with that Hardened Shield, easily able to soak up anything.
Still, that's a 60-second cooldown. Another 50 seconds. Muradin doesn't have Hardened Shield. That's a pretty big win. But but he's not exactly an attractive target yet. We've still got Avatar, we've still got Third Wind, so you don't want to focus Muradin, but it's a big bonus that that's down for now.
And this is going to be a Frozen Punisher. So as this goes on for a little bit further, more minions are going to go over to Tempo Storm. They found themselves in a good position, but look at the respect once again here, just backing off, knowing that Braveheart is going to be moving into this location. Soldier ventures quite far forwards there. Oh, it takes a lot of damage. They're going to look to blow him up instantaneously, but Malfurion is able to save him. Ooh, that was a close one for Soldier.
Hardened Shield down on Soldier, Phoenix down as well. It's going to be coming back in 30 seconds versus 50 seconds on Tyrion's Hardened Shield. He's got to be a little bit more careful here. Zuna going in by himself. Still has Hardened Shield, so he feels pretty safe.
Yeah, very aggressive move out of the Zuna for that moment. As we will see here, still Muradin moving forward. That's a dwarf top forward. They get out to Malfurion. That's a brilliant pickup here for Braveheart already. No healing potential coming out here from Tempo Storm. They're going to have to back off. They're probably going to have to give up this entire Punisher without Malfurion to be able to sustain them.
The eagle eye here by Braveheart's M on the Muradin, jumping in there, taking down Malfurion in a full 100% to 0% destruction of Malfurion, who has Bolt of the Storm, who had it off of cooldown, but was not able to do that on time. Now here, we've got a push coming into the middle keep. They can get that. How long are they going to stay? We've got the Hearthstone back already.
Just go, just leave. That was a great move out of Tempo Storm. Really making the most of what they could get despite not having a healer. They knew they were never going to win the fight up towards the top. So they tried to go for extra damage, knowing that Braveheart was eager to try and scramble and leave everyone there, try and get all the damage out onto the minions. So in the end, in essence, the greed kind of stumbles them a little bit.
Yeah, really smart play by Tempo Storm. I mean, what would it take for Braveheart to say, okay, we've killed one guy, we're still fighting over the objective, let's randomly have 4 people Hearthstone back? It's quite rare.
Much, yes.
What if they were hiding somewhere? So it was a very smart consideration of the risk-reward by Tempo Storm, taking down a keep. This Punisher may not even get a keep. So even though Braveheart got the objective, got the kill, I feel like they've been robbed. And Tempo Storm running away with that prize in the night, grinning maniacally.
It seems that way. I mean, this Punisher is going to evaporate. There's not much that they can do to kind of aid it with the fact that the fort wall still exists. They are rotating around now to try and get some pick-offs here and there if they can after trying to clean up that easy camp towards the middle. But it's Tyrael. He can Eldruin's Might away from there.
Stormbolt hits, Eldruin's Might away.
We'll see this Punisher now pushing once again with the team. So Braveheart, this is a fantastic Punisher later on in this kind of game. It's very, very powerful. Already jumping on towards Valor there. She did vault away, so keeping herself quite alive. And okay, that's a brilliant route, but no way to follow up.
They got 80% of the HP off of the Punisher, of that frozen Punisher, and it was still scary.
Yes.
They still had to play very carefully as they took down the last damage. Got a minion push here, catapults pushing into the Braveheart's core.
What a great way to start this series.
Yeah.
Tempo Storm really putting on good pressure early on, but Braveheart has come back a little bit. They are trying to mount some kind of comeback here, and that is certainly not over just yet. Taking the hard camp, applying more pressure to the top lane here, whereas the potential is that the shrines could come more activated towards the bottom after having that one at the top just activated.
Yeah, we see such a wonderful performance coming out here from China. First Team YL with that indomitable performance, taking a 2-0 victory. And now Team Braveheart, who they have players which is an amalgamation of some of the best warriors and support players in China and assassins, all coming together with short practice time. And here they are challenging what has for a long time been the world's best Heroes of the Storm team in Tempo Storm. They're going toe-in-toe. They're now 80% ahead in terms of going to the next level. And this is such a close game. And they're with the trap!
Already on towards Sonya there. She just popped a lot of her cooldown to her. Make sure she wasn't going to die off in that moment. Mystical Spear forwards, but no follow-up, no chase down. They were really ideally looking for a squishy to walk in on there. But, you know, Tempo Storm, too clever for that. Let those warriors lead.
Yeah. Now we've got Wrath of the Berserker down for Sonya, and she can refresh it by getting hit, which kind of hurts, but she can also hit, and it all refreshes her Wrath of the Berserker. But by now it's down already, and she's still got 15 seconds where she doesn't have it. So Zuna there, playing on that Sonya, has to be a little bit careful for the next 10 seconds.
Shrine now is where everything is going to be decided. Seconds.
Dread, he's had bolt, he uses it immediately.
Oh, very, very important, but it still is being chased down. That's a great route to start things off, of course, though, with the fact that he has Relentless, it doesn't lock him down for too much longer. Zuna's going to come in for the save. Tyrael actually do Elder Rune's Might backwards, knowing that he doesn't want to go too far forwards against this comp. Again, big respect coming out from Tempo Storm. You can see it in the fact that they are taking these fights so slowly.
Yeah, I mean, everything rests upon the next fight. If it's a 5 versus 0, that's the end of the game. I don't care how many forts you have up.
Yeah. And that's a good multi-shot, already doing quite a bit of damage there on towards the entire lineup of Braveheart as we see M just moving away from the top of this position towards Zuna and trying to find a good location to get themselves some minions as well as do some damage, trying to seal him in there with that holy ground. Wasn't enough. Dwarf Toss is enough to get Murder now.
Nice move. KO has been just playing phenomenally, always expecting where the opponent is trying to set up a flank, going with the Hungering Arrow there and anticipating that.
Will they go in too far? I already know, they do know Zuna is down towards there. He just popped Wrath of the Berserker, so that will be active for quite a while. That's a good grapple on towards Soldier. Still more still going down towards him. He has support sacrification just for himself there to actually keep himself alive. That's not the best position here. This could be a follow-up from Braveheart to try and do some damage now, knowing that that is down. Strafe is used on towards the left-hand side. It's not doing damage. Look at that move from Balor to try and get on towards the Balor. Ice Blood's been popped as well. He knows the Zuna's down. And Zuna gets the kill on towards the Gemini. With Gemini on single one damage, has to buy bomb himself, but he's not even going to pop by the looks of things. It didn't even pop. He's going to go down if he actually gets chased all the way there. And carries him up towards the top. A brilliant kill.
Tempo Storm playing insane here. They're playing a game of checkers here, popping left and right with the bolt.
And Soldier still under a lot of pressure here. Braveheart not done just yet. They get themselves to Sonya. That's a 1-for-2 trade at the moment.
They're going for the core.
But they got the core.